Now, we dey look for Inec commissioner. Now Buhari look Nigerians from head to toe. Now he launch his own party member, his own sister. Even though say don't be the same sister for tribe or state, but for action they be the same. Now be person of Lauretta Onochie from Delta State, and not just from Delta State, na APC member. Say make e come become Inec commissioner representing Niger Delta people. Those of una wey no know Lauretta Onochie na picture be this. Na Buhari come launch. No, you know the purpose. They won't ring for Delta State because one of their members too wants to become governor. So now they launch am. Oh yeah, go for front first. You see the map now. They don't dey package the map. Make it become Inec commissioner for Delta State, Niger Delta area. As Buhari launch am, you throw out. In fact, Nigeria na very sweet place. In fact, this country dey sweet me. Yeah? Nigeria na good place. Now they just na you we don't know na plan. Na ringi. Number one person we fit talk na the person of Wike. Wike say the purpose of this woman na to do wetin to ring election. For those of now when I watch the video where Wike take dey talk, oh yeah, take her.
And desperation of the Buhari and the All Progressive Congress APC controlled National Assembly to force an invalid Ms. Lauretta Onochie and Nigerians as INEC National Commissioner is a bad omen for our democracy. By any standards, the most fundamental consideration against the appointment of an electoral umpire in a democracy is the likelihood of bias, which in this case is heavily weighted against Ms. Onochie as a notorious and repulsively partisan diehard in the rule of APC. Despite the flood of protests against her nomination and the general lack of trust in her capacity to remain impartial, it seems the APC-led Senate is determined to confine her appointment as part of the grand design to rig the 2023 general election well ahead of time, knowing Nigerians would overwhelmingly reject them in a free, fair, and transparent contest managed by a strong and independent election management committee. As a governor and concerned Nigerians who...
Afa, we can have a knock-on. As we can knock-on, oh yeah. They're not pussy stop for there. They still continue their wuru-wuru. So okay, may we fair go. They carry the first leg, they screen now, answer a question. For those of now, whenever I watch the video where they see the screen now, oh yeah, take care.
My name once again is Lauretta Onochie. I was born in 1959, and although I was born in the north, where my parents and grandparents worked, at 4 years old, I was taken back to my area, that is by where my parents came from, Delta State. And that's where I had my primary and secondary school education. After this, after the secondary school education, I went on to train as a teacher, a secondary school teacher, majoring in business education. And then thereafter, I settled in Calabar with my family, where I produced 2 beautiful children.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And then while in Calabar, I began to teach in an award-winning primary school, Auntie Margaret International School. And from there, I went to do my degree at the University of Calabar. Some years later, after my daughter, my first child, got admission to study at at the Federal Government College Owerri. Some years after she's been there, there were issues with her in the school. So, and I thought these issues are not what I was ready to face. So I took my children and I left the country. And when I got to the United Kingdom, although I had become a head teacher in Calabar, I was the youngest head teacher in Calabar, and they used to call me Eaglet headmistress. Although I was a head teacher, having arrived in the UK and teachers were in short demand, I had to retrain to continue teaching. That gave me the opportunity to volunteer in so many schools, primary schools, secondary schools, working with people with learning difficulties, working with the elderly, working with black, white. I had all those experiences, and 3 years on after arriving in the UK, I qualified as a lecturer and a trainer for people with learning difficulties and disabilities. Now, this training made it possible for me to shun all form of vices, because I became an advocate for people who are disadvantaged in life. And my nature being that I have no partisanship bone in my body, it was easy for me to adjust to this job. I took it on until a few years later, when I resigned from lecturership in order to look after children who were taken into care, or children who were at risk of being taken into care. These children have severe behavioral issues, and we are bound either to the psychiatric hospital, to end up in psychiatric hospitals or not, but that was the role I began to take. It was during taking this role, while taking this role, and having won an award for it, I went for a meeting where we were asked to come to support the then candidate, the president of, the then candidate, Muhammadu Buhari. And then that's how we were all asked to come to work with him in Nigeria. And that's how I began to work with him. I have seen the petitions, against me. Oh, okay, not yet. Okay. I have seen some of the petitions written against me, but it's instructive to note that the petition has not come only from the side of PDP, but many vocal people that have been against my being here today are also in APC. And that says it all, because they know that I am not partisan, that for me it's about the truth, it's about the Constitution, and it's about the law. And that's where I always stand. So I keep saying that nobody has anything to fear with me getting this role, because I will be going to represent the people of the South, giving them, sitting in a position where I can ensure that the votes of the ordinary Niger Deltan count. It is irrespective of whether we are Christians or Muslims, whether we belong to one political party or the other. As far as I'm concerned, I think I'm the Madam Due Process.
The screener. Nigerians, they talk. Nigerians, they provoke. Different. They can't even bring the proof. The woman deny him. You say, if you watch her now, you say, I'm not a partisan, not a cat carrying me about Nigeria. You know, and Nigerians will follow them. If you now do this, you won't cause war. If you now venture appoint this woman as Inec of commissioner, democracy is going down. For those of us who never wash them, yeah, take on.
For God's sake, a situation where we're in the 21st century, we are discussing banning electronic transmission of results. This is a government that benefited from the card reader. Without the card reader, this current government would not have been in power. So you look at things holistically, then you begin to wonder, is this really a democracy? Are we even pretending that we're in a democracy, for God's sake? What should we in the 21st century? People are going to the moon. Lemon is on his way to the moon. We're discussing about appointing a woman that is wearing Buhari regalia, insulting people on Facebook, insulting people on Twitter. This woman has severally insulted me for criticizing the government and criticizing the president. That's the kind of character you want to go and have. You want this woman to go and destroy the credibility and integrity of Inec. So when you look at the president for even having the guts to nominate someone like this, okay, why not? Since the president wants to prove that Nigeria is a zoo, like many people are postulating, why not let the president bring out APC ESCO, the national chairman of APC, let him appoint him as the national chairman of INEC. Then the national secretary, the organizing secretary, let them all of them, plus the PRO of APC, let them be national commissioners in INEC. Because just try to imagine if Goodluck Jonathan had appointed Ruben Abati or Oruntu Douglas or Nuomokri or Doyo Kupe. Let him appoint them into INEC. Because this is what this man is trying to do. This is a candidate who lost the election, who went to the Supreme Court severally, who complained, who protested. Buhari was a former activist. Buhari was a former critic. How can such a person just overnight become a monster?
You watch that one. As they look the thing, if we really launch this woman, approve this woman, Nigeria will be at war. They look at, they weigh the consequences at the latter end, and they reject the woman. They reject her through voting. Those of them we never watch the video where they vote this woman, Lauretta Onochie, come up from INEC commissioner. Oh yeah, take her.
Will the Senate approve the nomination of Lauretta Onochie as a commissioner representing Delta State in the Independent National Electoral Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
Now say the process where they take voter come out. I bet put the woman picture. Put the woman picture. Hey, madam, Nigeria not go ever forget you. You can't make yourself an instrument of whether a weapon of mass destruction. Now you can be. You they use your mouth, they talk. Since when Buhari dey office, now you the defender they come. Anybody talk against Buhari, now your enemy. You'll be one of the enemies of the masses, enemy of Nigeria. You remember when they carry placard, say, Goodluck Jonathan, they do one thing, they rule, they do this one bad. How your own be now? This woman, Nigeria is not going to forget what she don't do. They tell your story, you fly your children out because of one thing. You dey UK, you do this one. You devote yourself to some kind of thing, you do that one. Now the story you call tell people, fly your children out. Why you not let your children remain here? I tell them, I say some of all these people, their children, they outside country, they enjoy themselves. Why did they make the masses for here? And in addition to that, put the opposition party chairman PDP, put the chairman of PDP. In fact, you be on a party and one of the useless opposition party. Useless opposition party now. Time like this one are supposed to they come out, they post, they talk, on a close on a mouth. You they wait me Nigeria call fight, call put on a in, on a start to the loot. This one I the time when they supposed to talk. When I remember when I dey office, na time like this, now APC they fight, they talk, they provoke, they protest, they do a lot of things. So now sit down for office, they wait for the masses come fight on Mona Koeta. Thief, ole, useless opposition party where they not get head. PDP Manyansh. This kind of time now they supposed to hear their voice, but they put their hand. They wait make the masses talk with them. Opposition Manyansh. Then let's go to the other news, y'all.